A very warm good evening. This is Arnav Chaudhary. You are on my YouTube channel, and I'm live here for another Indian football discussion after the Super Saturday in the afternoon. Chennaiyin FC and Mumbai City FC played out a 1-1 draw, and then in the evening, a mini Kolkata derby in which East Bengal FC held Mohammedan Sporting SC in the goalless, and East Bengal had to play the match for more than an hour, actually more than 70 minutes if we add added time with 9 men, and we'll discuss that and talk about it because on the one side, East Bengal get their first point of this ISL season, while the question has to be asked, Mohammedan Sporting, are you actually good enough to be playing in the ISL? So that question also is in the room. Weljan says first half East Bengal are playing way too carelessly and aggressive, and Mohammedan Sporting are fighting amongst themselves. What is this? Well, Welzian, you have a point. You have a very valid point here to talk about, because East Bengal, I guess, my feeling was that they were trying to get something across from the ISL and then try and play something, try and give something today, and it sort of backfired badly, I would say. And on the other side, Mohammedan Sporting, that it was quite evident, or is quite evident, that there are problems within the club, within the squad. Financial issues supposedly in there. They're not ready, and interesting also that yesterday, big reports in Kolkata from the media that they're that Hijaji Maher and Oscar Bruzon have problems, this, that, everything, and Hijaji Maher plays the whole game. So then you also know what sometimes the media reports doesn't have to be really true. Yeah, and therefore that is that. Oritra asks, addressing the elephant in the rooms, do you think the 2 red cards shown was right? Yes. I think anyone questioning those red cards, sorry. What is the referee supposed to do? We're talking about 2. Oscar Bruzon himself said it. He will have a word with both the players, and knowing Oscar a little bit, he is angry with them, especially with Mahesh. So everybody trying to just wake up. Yes, the referee makes mistakes, but if this you want to sell as a referee mistake, sorry, it's really becoming a joke. It's always trying to find faults with others. What fails makes no sense. Again, the other day with the Kerala Blasters against Hyderabad, to me, clearly those were 3 mistakes from the referee. But today, Harish Kundu, with those 2 decisions, he was sad. That's it. Hi all. The Mohammedan coach was full on angry mode in the end. Mahesh, he has to. You're playing with 11 versus 9. You're playing 11 versus 9. You will not get a better chance to win a game. And you were unable to break down a 9-man team. East Bengal played actually better, I think, with 9 than with 11 in the way they were playing. And the commitment of the players, that has to be said. Mohammedan Sporting was not to ISL level today. This was not good enough, right? And again, there has to be questions about the coach as well. Shenisov, again, also talking in the post-match, we need to learn, we need to do things. No, there's nothing to learn. If that's the thing. What is your point on red? As I said, right decision. Aman, no point of discussion. Referee was hypocrite today. If 2 red cards were, Mohammedan Sporting been given 2-3 red cards as well. The Gatsya countries are very different for 2 teams. Again, Pujon, I didn't see red cards for Mohammedan Sporting. Sorry, he could have given the one or the foul. Yes, one or the card here and there, but there weren't red cards. If you are defending, if you or anyone is defending, the actions of Nanda Kumar and of Mahesh, look for another sport. Seriously. Because it is a joke. We're talking about national team players. That Nanda didn't break anything in Amarjit's face. You know? And Mahesh is in a crisis mode. That's why the coach is not calling him up for the national team, because he's not good enough. These players should know better, right? And again, yeah, could have been given. But are they red cards? No. Are the referees perfect? No. But are you trying to defend those cards? No, you're saying the referee is a hypocrite. Come on, guys, wake up. Come on. Score another hat-trick. Coming from I-League, how fast Punjab FC adopted to ISL intensity. I think Mohammedan should learn from them. Not only that, Mahesh, I think Punjab FC looked at their team, made the right decisions, and read to what to change, what not to change, made further decisions. So that's that, you know. On the other side, Mohammedan, big talk, big problems. Again, I said financial issues are there. You know, to me is they would struggle. It was clear they would struggle. They played well initially, but now welcome to the ISL. Mohammedan Sporting is not to the mark of the ISL. Is there a condition created? How will we sell Vinny and Mbappe? Achha, we're talking about Real Madrid. Sachin, I don't know. Their player kicked in the groin, no card. Their striker running 35 yards and elbow Clayton, not a red card. Pujan, seriously. You know it better. Think, watch again, and then think where you're asking for what you're asking for. I don't know why East Bengal fans and refs. It was a crystal clear red card for both of them. So that's what I'm saying. And this is what people need to accept. I am fed up of fans of different clubs always putting the blame on the refs and saying, oh, you know what, we got this, we got that, but they didn't get this, they didn't get, the list goes on and on. Are the referees perfect? Of course they aren't. But when your own players do these things, this is the first thing you should be criticizing. And Oscar Bruzon in the post-match press conference did it. He said, I will have to discuss discipline in my team. That's the first thing he said, right? Not like other coaches, oh, you know, referee this, that, and everything. You know? That's the conversation we should be having. Because I am fed up of trying to equate this foul with that foul, this then with that, this with that, this is here. And then, again, talk about the behaviors of your own players, right? But that's not what you're going to do. You will go out and say, oh, referee didn't give here a card, didn't give there a card, didn't give here a foul, didn't give a penalty, didn't give this, give. No, that's what you should be doing, right? It is this, you know, I'm fed up of this. I am honestly fed up of this because it makes no sense, right? Because everybody else is to blame. Mohammedan should be in last place. Polish, they aren't. They did win a game. They did draw. I didn't defend. I said those two were fine. Mohammedan should have been given cards as well. Pujan, I'm fine with giving cards. But again, I would rather ask the question, why does Nanda Kumar hit out like that? And even worse is Mahesh's behavior. You know, where you are down, you are giving the referee an option to send you off. You already have a card. You know, and that situation, he could have, again, if you want to say Mohammedan Sporting deserved cards, there are 2-3 players who in this situation could have also received cards from the referee, didn't give them, right? So it's not very difficult. I don't feel any wrong in referee's decision today, to be honest, but look how East Bengal managed defense. But on the other hand, how bad it is for Mohammedan Sporting. Yeah, exactly, much. We should be talking about the East Bengal team to be able to draw this game. I think that should be the talking point. 9-man East Bengal holding Mohammedan Sporting, because on one side, great defensive display, on the other side, inabilities. So that's something which is there. Punjab was good after December 2023. Aman, I thought they played well initially but didn't win. So that's a little different. From December, they actually got into the groove. That's the thing. Mohammedan players don't even understand each other. Yeah, Palash seems to be. Why such low attendance when I thought the local derby on the weekend would pull at least decent crowd in Kolkata? RS, the reality is this whole conversation of, oh, you know what, shift matches to the weekend and you have more crowds. Look at the attendance in the afternoon in Chennai. It might make a difference maybe of 5-10% to all these games, right? If fans want to go, this is another thing. If fans really want to go and watch a football game, it doesn't matter if it's on a Monday, if it's on a Wednesday, or if it's on a Saturday or a Sunday. They will go. They try means and way to go. This happens around the world. If you want a reason to say, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, right? That is another problem that we have in Indian football culture, fan culture, where we like, do I have to go? Do I have to make the effort? You have to. Everyone who, being, making comments on social media, making your voice heard, but then not supporting your team in the grounds. No, it doesn't happen. If I have the chance, I will always go and watch football matches. Of course, I did watch the derby. I would have loved to watch Mohammedan against Kerala Blasters when I was in Kolkata, but it didn't work out in my schedule because I was there only for 36 hours. So I was on a work trip. So those are the things, the small little things which I say, which are very, very important in my opinion, without which we will not change culture in India and Indian football, right? And very, very, in my opinion, very, very important if we want to take things forward in the right direction. And again, in the afternoon, we were discussing why there isn't as much as support as people talk and say. That's a reality. Why would a broadcaster pick up the broadcasting rights at the moment and spend money on Indian football? And I think the fans, there need to be more, and they need to make a commitment to come whenever they come. Do you think this match was the last match of Chernishev? Palash could be. I also that's why I started late today, because I wanted to watch the post-match press conference, right? The post-match interactions with the broadcaster of both the coaches. Oscar was very clear. Oscar has a plan. Oscar has an approach. Oscar has a line. Chernishev was like, okay, we take the draw. How can you take the draw now? So that to me is something which I find, there needs to be a little bit more from the head coach. That's where I feel there's something lacking, because he needs to get that across. He needs to get that across in the sense of that he's able to, not only get, if it's like this in the dressing room at the moment, I don't think the players are acting or reacting as we saw the fight on the field in the first half. And he says, player was not fit, and then I took him off and brought on someone else. I changed the system, blah, blah, whatever. I'm happy with the end, but we need to learn. We need to get in the box. We need to earn penalties. This is, there's something missing in my opinion. This is something, it's just very mechanical, Even if you're angry, I understand maybe he's controlling his anger, but we saw even his anger was not really getting across to his players. We saw in the end, right? Terrible. Mohammedan Sporting, terrible. And if East Bengal has a little bit of luck here or there, who knows? They even steal the 3 points tonight. When the first red card was given, Mahesh should have controlled his emotions, but caused his team more problems. Yeah, Wilson. Yeah. That's the thing. I know it's very difficult. It's easy for me to sit here and say that, or for you to, make those comments. It is very, very important. And he's a national team player. You have to keep your cool. It is sometimes very difficult on the field or on the side of the field, but in that match, you have to just be cool. East Bengal worked their socks off to keep it to a draw. Yeah, no, that's what I said. I think that's the big positive for East Bengal, that Oscar has been able to put a squad out there which is now working as a unit. I think that's the main thing, that's the main thing that he's been able to do. And I said that a few days back, I think in the live versus Nejme, that he's had now the time to work with the players. He's had the time to try and gel it as a team. And yeah, that's it. And that's the little small bit. And again, today, I feel this result will help East Bengal FC down the road. I think it will help them. So that's the reality that they have. And let's see what comes in the coming games. But this was much needed, and let's see. Even last season, Ismail has got most of the cards. Even this season, also, they are in top and receiving most number of cards. I think that was entertaining. This behavior, Oscar needs to work. Yeah, Subi? He said that. He said that in the post-match, and he wasn't happy with the behavior of his players. So let's see. There is no consistency in Indian referees, and the level of strictness it changes from minutes. That's where the problem is on the MSP. Mohammedan Sporting fought terribly multiple times, well, but no cards. Pujan, again, what am I going to say? Am I going to say that I'm not happy with refereeing in the UEFA Champions League, even with VAR, right? And look at Michael Oliver at Eindhoven this week in the Champions League, should I go back to the Euros where Germany were denied a penalty, with Kukurea and all? Consistency in refereeing, you're not going to get it anywhere in the world. If you're expecting that, sorry, you're living in dreams world, right? It's not going to happen. But there is something that is something, that is something where you need to. And I don't think that none of these instances that you're talking about needed a harsh reaction as it needed in that situation. As I say, Nanda was very, 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 very lucky that Amarjeet stood up and was able to play on. Because if he hits him properly, he breaks something in his face. Could have happened. National team player, right? Supposed national team player. These kind of players are supposed to play for the Indian national team. Goodbye, Indian football. That's my only thing what I say. Why same team player fight Alex and Kazimos? Sachin, I don't know why they fought. They must have disagreed on something for whatever reasons. And sometimes these things happen on the field. Shouldn't happen, I know. But again, it's easy to say those things when we're not on the field. But to me, very, very clearly, there is something wrong in that dressing room at the moment. Mohammedan Sporting is not, just not good enough. Sorry to say that. I really don't know how Kalyan Chaub is still there. He just announces we will bring VR, but no results. Then only these fans will stop crying about referee decision. Raj, they will not stop crying about referee's decision because VR will just push the discussion elsewhere. In Germany, in England, we are having discussions after every match day in the Bundesliga and the Premier League if VR should be removed from football. And again, look at the Michael Oliver one against PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League. Just watch it. Just put it in Google. Just watch the clip, and then you'll know. Mohammedan Sporting should come back. PFC, right? So therefore, they need to sort out a lot of things which are not just on the field, but off the field as well. Okay, level. Sorry, that's part of the problem. Judge every situation individually. Yes, I have the same opinion. Whenever the referee decision, maybe look how they reacted. When I really want to watch national team practice after my office hours is about my willingness. Moinak, exactly that's the point. And I question the commitment of a lot of people, who will say this, that, and oh, why is there no more support? And themselves will not turn up, right? I remember in the past, whenever I've had time, I've even watched lower level football games in Kolkata or in Goa, even in Mumbai. Just watch football, just support football. Being, just saying, oh, people are not coming, oh, people are not supporting, it's quite easy. No, you have to do whatever is needed as your little share for Indian football, and that is just turning up. Tonight's match showed there is massive difference between ISL and I-League. 60 minutes, 11 versus 9 last year at Mohammedan would have scored 5. Yeah, isn't that what I've been saying? That's the same. That's the thing. That's the thing, that the standard between those two leagues are massively different. But again, a lot of people don't want to understand that. Jamshedpur has good supporters. Every home match there are at least 15k. Aman, Jamshedpur has had more than 21, I think, as an average in the past. So even there, it's less. Shameless Kundu, says Shumit. No, he got it spot on. If you like it or not, I'll not take on your other comments on that, because, if you want to accept it or not, the decision was right. The red card was right. And the second yellow for Mesh, sadly, was also right. It's on the players. Even Oscar Bruzon has said it. So if you like it or not, even your head coach has said it, that the decisions from the referee were right. What are you going to do? Yeah, people are willing to go to stadium in peak summer at 3 p.m. and 40 degrees just to watch a random Ranji Trophy match or random Indian team test matches. RS, no, not even that is happening, right? Don't come with cricket and all. Test matches often are empty if the days are not important. Ranji Trophy, I don't know, 20 people turn up. So no, that's also not happening. In India, most of it's not a football thing. It is a general thing of supporting sports, or going to sports. Now, even in the worst of weather, I'll tell you examples of the lower level here in Europe, for example, right? And it's not about, about culture or not. People will turn up and support the team. If they're 15 or 16, or if they're 70 or 80 plus, if they can still, travel and watch and stand lower level, 100, 200 people turning up. Schalke, my favorite example, Schalke 04, right? Second bottom of the second Bundesliga, 61,000 on average, sold out stadium. That's what it is, right? That's what football is about. So what's your thoughts on Indian players? Some of them are not good enough for ISL or lack of experience, as known as one of the youngest squad in terms of age. So you have to realize, or, there is a, as I said a little earlier, there's a gap difference between the ISL and the I-League. And to me, that was very, very evident today, and brutally evident, but again, a good dressing room, things which are sorted, that's also needed. Is Mahesh going to face any disciplinary action for showing his frustration by kicking the ball while coming off the field? Moinok, he is, as far as Oscar said, he will look into this with both the players, and especially he actually said, and I hope I quote him right, he said, I understand Mahesh's frustration. He's not playing well at the moment. He was trying to find his position, and he's not playing well. So, yeah, he's going to get some sort of fine, and theoretically, the AIFF also could, impose a financial penalty. I don't think that they can double the fine and saying that instead of 1 match, you're going to be banned by 2 matches because he got an automatic 1-match suspension. East Bengal should take good defense and striker before AFC match. Aman, let's see. What East Bengal does. Again, it's still November. Let's see in mid-Jan or late Jan what East Bengal does. If injuries kick in some sort of form way, yeah. You're comparing a cricket match attendance with a football match in India. Are we having results similar to cricket? Wake up to reality. If we're giving good results, people follow that. No, it's not. That was my point. Tell me your tendencies. Give me real stats. How many people are watching Ranji Trophy? Test matches. How many people are watching? The people are only interested in the ODIs or in the T20s, right? They're interested in the IPL. So attendance is a general issue. If we are going to be more successful, again, today was the first ever derby between these two teams, right? East Bengal won the last 3 games. So I would have thought there would be more fans turning up. Mohammedan Sporting, again, there is a lot of, is something which is a problem. For me, I think only 2 players from India is an average player, Jitin and Changte. I don't see anyone better than them or average player. Okay, Vijay. Changte, yes. Jitin still has to convince me in the long run. Can he play international football? I think that's going to be the real test for him. Let's see. Didn't watch the match. Was shocked to see 2 red cards. Were those decisions fair? Yes, Akash. Sadly, both of them can be given. Next match, PV and Shan will get start blessing in disguise, or they get exposed. Yeah, that's the other thing. Or the coach changes his formation. Today's game is the worst ISL game I saw in a while. So frustrating. Blue, that is another thing, right? It was a poor game of football. That is something. It was that Mohammedan Sporting were not able, with 11 players, were not able to break down a nine-man team. Was very, very shocking to see, right? And that is something, yeah. So therefore, let's see. Hijaji plays like a rock in a low block and fumbles constantly with a high line. Don't think Bruzon would stick with him. Both the Reds were correct. Bruzon said in post-match against Nanda Mahesh act. Ishant, exactly, that's what the coach done. And guys, just read it. I think he will most probably look at players who fit his style of play. But for today's game, Hijaji was spot on. Anwar as well. But if he wants to play that he wants, that's fine. But India's DRS in cricket, and we don't cry about every decision, ignoring rare cases where it looks like it failed. Pranjal, to compare any other sport with football and decision making is very difficult because other sports, again, you're taking cricket. I say, look at tennis, for example. Look North American sports. Look at NFL, American football. Look at ice hockey. Look at field hockey. There are a lot of these things where technology is being used in the right way. And in football, we are at the stage in Europe where there are discussions. Even the Premier League in the summer had a motion to discuss if to remove VR. So while we are talking, we want VR. Elsewhere, they're already at the next step. We're saying we want to remove VR. Winning trophies at 6 years tournament is different than doing well in AFC level. Okay. And people want relegation and more teams in ISL. It will be a disaster. That's what I'm saying. I don't think we have a league ready for even a 13-team league. I think a 10-team league would allow us to try and develop us, keep it closed, and then start maybe increasing it in another 3 or 4 years. I don't think, again, rather have 10 teams, let them play thrice against each other. You're going to get your 27 games, have your ISL playoffs, you're sorted. But again, who's going to listen? This is the problem. Ishan asks, how do the management find a replacement outside transfer windows? Suppose Clayton is to be changed, what players will a club target from July, June season or November, December season, your experience? Ishan, there are 2 things. Again, you have respective transfer windows. For example, in India, it's in winter, the January window, and the summer window is from June to end of August. That is where you can either sign players who are out of contract, or sign players. Let's say in East Bengal's case, for example, you signed Jeekson on it with a transfer fee from Kerala Blasters. Now, outside a window, like Hyderabad did with all the players that they've signed, except the Indians who were, of course, released by their respective clubs and they were able to sign them, they were free agents. So you can only sign if, let's say, you want to say tomorrow, 10th of November, you're releasing Clayton Silva and East Bengal wants, you want, a replacement. You will only be able to sign someone who, for example, is without a contract. So let's say, I don't know, I said player who might be up again. He's retired, but I take his name. Let's say you could sign a Bartok Becher, or you could sign a Ferran Corominas, who of course have now retired, but they would be free agents and they could be signed. Otherwise, you would have to wait till January. Of course, you also have to negotiate how you're going to end the contract with Clayton, and then most likely pay him off for the remainder of the contract. And then sign someone. Want more teams, of course. Aman, it's not a question what you want or what I want, but we have to wake up to those realities, that's to me. We have to wake up to that reality. If you want more clubs, doesn't matter. Even other countries, again, why is Australia expanding the A-League to, Australia is huge. You could do an 18 or 20 team league. No, they're not doing it. They think that the A-League is better, smaller, and as a closed league. While elsewhere, let's say in North America, the MLS is expanding to 32 teams like every other professional league in that part of the world. Both the red cards are correct decisions, but East Bengal should have had that penalty. Not fully sure, but yeah. Every single Ranji Trophy played in absolute empty stadiums. Check on YouTube, except IPL in cricket have very low attendance and viewership. Exactly. It is something which one has to wake up to, that in cricket the numbers aren't as nice as people think. It is IPL and T20 cricket, and everything else is no one's there, so to say. Sounds bad, let's see. Is franchise team killing football? Arup, I don't think so. I think if you look at the ISL in its 11th season, today was the first match, that how it's grown, I think we have problems on the field. But if you see how teams are now set up, how they are run, how they organize their accommodation, their transport, their travel, how stadiums are, how the infrastructure is at stadiums, how the broadcast is, I think franchise football has transformed Indian football and brought it into the 21st century. We were in the Middle Ages before that in the I-League days. People don't want to accept it, but that's the reality. How does a team like PFC make money and sell tickets for free? They don't make money, Aman. Every team is losing money. No one's making money in Indian football. Problem is that Mohammedan Sporting officials do not understand team quality. One of their officials a few weeks ago stating tactical phrases like that pressing machine and blah. Sadly, they can't play basic. Shomo, do any of the club officials in a Kolkata football scenario understand actually football? I would generalize. They think they all understand football. They talk big things. Do they understand football? No. Do people working in Indian football in general understand football? I have a question about most people. Sorry to say that. That is our biggest problem, because that is why we are where we are. So what do you say about Anwar Ali case? Does it showcase how judiciary system is failing? Shivam, it's not failing, it has failed. Right? The way that the whole thing is handled, it has failed. East Bengal would have already burned through their salary cap by now, even if they want to make additions January. Babalus, they can minus, certain salaries and then have new additions. So therefore, it's a plus-minus equation. So let's see what they do in January. Release certain players and get new players in. That's going to be the question. Good evening, Geron Rare. So what happened to East Bengal? Never expected this from them. Geron Rare. Sometimes it happens, but yeah, players need to be more professional, and especially when we're talking about national team players. Yeah. Good evening, Dark Knight, extreme unprofessional behavior, Mahesh. Yeah, sadly to say that. And Mahesh normally is the one who I thought always who was very controlled. I think Mohammedan Sporting don't score any open goal. Yeah, part of the problems. Owen Coyle says VR is very much necessary, as well as introduction of modern equipments in sidelines, which would help them to monitor players more closely. Shivam, VAR is something which I don't see installation very quickly with the current scenario. Um, who's going to put in the money, right? And modern equipment on the sidelines, yes, it helps. But again, are the coaches really improving the quality of the players? We can get as much tech as they want. It gives you the additional data. It might help you a little bit here and there, but again, you try and make the players better. I think that would be my request to the coaches. And we need to train referees to be VR compliant, VR capable, and then the discussion shifts to when referees make mistake with VR. It's not that the referees would be perfect with VR. Just impossible just to happen, right? That's the reality. Right, more than 36 minutes. Wow, didn't realize that we've already been speaking for so long. Those of you who might be new to the channel, welcome to arunfoot here on YouTube. If you haven't, but you like what we're talking about, liking my opinions, liking the discussion, do leave a like behind. 9 likes so far and 1,912 subscribers. So we're 88 away from the 2,000 mark. So please help me to grow this channel, get more people involved. That's hopefully, grow the community. Was in a party, but still watched game. Rare, great commitment. That's what I love to hear from people. Small little things. I also do that. I was yesterday at a friend's place, but I was talking, and on the side I was letting that game run, and suddenly my German friends were watching a little bit of the game yesterday, which was of course exciting at the start. BFC versus Northeast United. So therefore, try and do that, and then make it. I think Mohammedan Sporting need a new manager, needs to get some good transfers. Yeah, gosh, I said that. I think Chennaiyin has done the max that he could do, brought him to the ISL, but I don't think he is of ISL level at the moment. The said East Bengal head who calls all the shots has just said there are hidden conspirators who are conspiring against East Bengal and let him grow and qualify top 6. Auritra, what am I going to say? This gentleman is the reason why East Bengal is where it is, sadly. So these are realities, right? No, I'm asking what usually the preference of a player to be replaced in November. Is it better to prefer a player who's coming from a country that has February, November, December, or June or July? In November, normally you don't replace players, Ishan. You normally go and replace players in the windows, which again, as I said, it will be in January. November is not a time to try and replace players. Even if I have a problem in the team, I would rather look at January and look at options of players who are available or players who can get on loan. When senior players show such irresponsible acts in a crucial match, they should be penalized financially. Those were genuine red cards. When we know referees are horrible, why show dissent after a yellow? Shumadri, again, the referees are not perfect, but what I always say is give them a little bit more respect. Don't say they're horrible. Again, I would then start saying that's the same thing about Bundesliga or Premier League or Champions League refs with VR, right? So therefore, if you think VR is, some of you think that VR is going to be the God's gift and it will transform, the discussion just shifts, because in VR, referee will miss things in VR. That's going to be then. I'm looking forward to the first day when we have VR, when a referee misses something, the guy who's sitting in front of VR monitors and misses something. I'm looking forward to that. Gianni says, I know all problems lying grassroots level, to be honest. Across the board, I think, again, not only grassroots, let's say it's across the board. Infrastructure improve, pitch improve, but but quality of Indian players same or declined. I think it's declined. I think it has declined. The quality of foreigners is better today than it was 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Much, much better. But, and now, I don't know. This is again, why? Because we are not focusing on grassroots and youth football. We are struggling at that end, and we're not getting the results which we need, and therefore that's in my opinion, that's a very, very big concern, a very, very big problem. and we're not getting anywhere near where we want, where we need to go in producing players. Let's see. Thanks, Akash. Good night. Good evening, Beneath. Don't you think there was a clear pen for East Bengal? I don't think it was a clear penalty, but it's a 50-50. I think it can be given, it can't be given. Almost a year ago, Mahesh was easily one of the best players in the national team. No idea what we will look like in another year. But Babalu's animation, I go back to one thing which I say it again and again and repeat and repeat. I know a lot of people don't like to hear it. The problem was or is consistency, a word which I like to use. Players who are consistent throughout a season, but consistent also for a number of years. Big problem in Indian football. And again, Mahesh, East Bengal's problem, I feel, with Mahesh has been that Mahesh was in a position, last year you brought Nanda, also for his position. And then this year you brought Mehdi Talal as well. And Mahesh is being pushed around, it's not helping him. And he doesn't have the confidence, right? And that's the problem. This is frustration which is built up in the player. Again, should know better. And again, Oscar will surely have not only a word with him, but quite a bit of talking to. And let's see what happens. Player salary, top notch, bring VR, player quality. Beneath VR, if you think that VR will be the savior of things in Indian football, I don't know. So in Europe, again, as I say, it's the discussion is going the other way. Like we have players exchange programs, you must have referee exchange program as well for officials. Yeah, we've had foreign referees coming in, referee coaches coming in. But if you want to improve your referees, it's not going to happen overnight. It'll take too long. That's why I've on this topic I've given up. If you want quality referees, you'll have to wait 4 to 5 years, maybe even longer. Right? I've given up even the current lot of German referees. Not good. Lately, I haven't followed Anna's case. What if East Bengal gets a transfer ban? How will they replace Clayton? Can they sign even free agent if the transfer ban is posed? No, they can't. If a transfer ban is posed, East Bengal can sign no one in Jan. Mahesh says, also I think these players are getting paid more than what they deserve. Overpaid. Mahesh, overpaid is not the right word. They're the most overpaid players in the world for the standard of football that they shot. Sorry to say that. Nobody, forget earning and cross. These players don't earn deserve to earn in lakhs for the football they play. They would go down to the lowest division in Europe and would struggle. National team players of ours. They would not play. Sir, I have a question. Yeah. Good evening, Mourinho. 2 Indian players red carded, 9 on field. How come 4 foreigners stayed on? Wasn't JFC punishment for same mistake last season? No, it wasn't. Last season, Jamshedpur had a foreigner send off, and a foreigner came on as the 4th foreigner for someone else. That was that's something which happened. So therefore, So therefore, that was that, and that's a different case. Mumbai City FC is missing something. Yeah, Dark Knight, they're missing, in my opinion, they're missing one thing massively, and that is scoring off their opportunities. And what we discussed in the afternoon, more pace. They need to be faster in their transitions. Yeah, they're lacking pace overall, and a little bit of luck here and there with certain situations maybe as well. Bangalore FC versus Northeast United FC was such a fantastic game. I feel Northeast United FC missed a chance to win the game, but the quality of Northeast United FC this season is pure enjoyable. Yeah. But again, it depends on certain players. If Ajay is not in that team, where would Northeast United be? And that's the thing, right? These foreigners are impact players and difference makers. Harming Indian football players and system in ISL, I feel. No, it's not. It's not linked to the foreigners. The salaries of the Indian players is on a different level. If you see the quality of foreigners and the money they're getting, yes, even the foreigners, some of them, or not some of them, most of them get more money than they would in their home countries or in their home markets. But the Indian salaries, right? And that's a problem in itself. And that's a challenge that will be very interesting to see how we tackle. Yeah, not easy in my opinion. Mumbai City FC looks toothless in final third. Karan, they sometimes look, but sometimes it's, again, I feel the one or the other chance goes in. Sorry. Going into the final third, decision making, that's missing. And maybe even some easy goals that they create, out of open play. That is what is needed, I think, for Mumbai City. But overall, yeah, it's they have control of the games, but they still have mistakes at the back, where allowing other teams to attack them. Let's see what happens. Don't you think that was a clear pen? No. What happened? Giron Rare, I think, is getting old. I think Clayton Silva is getting old. Last season, you saw that he was influential at East Bengal. Now, of course, he's got Diamantakos in front of him, and Diamantakos has been scoring goals as well for East Bengal. But to me, Clayton Silva seems to be getting old, and maybe also another player who's trying a little bit too hard. I don't know what you felt today. I thought, that's the reality. How do referee selection work? Is there some kind of ranking system, like higher ranked referees in important games and lower ranked in lower divisions? Babalus, there's a referees pool. You have to qualify for a higher level referee pool. You have to, do the things to qualify, be good in your league, then have to also undergo physical tests and then qualify. And yeah, that's the same thing. Do you think the players not getting game time answer will that eventually force them to play outside India? Why don't they even try for second, third division, even Asia, just money? Why Sunil Bachung went? Outside India, the question is who's going to take Indian players? As someone who has enabled Indian players trials and other things, it's about relationships. No one is looking at Indian players, right? So to me, the question here is, Baichung went at a very young age. Baichung was willing to gamble and try his luck abroad, and he did. Baichung did. I think Baichung, if without injuries, could have achieved it. Sunil went to America, didn't make it at Kansas. Sunil then went to Sporting Lisbon B, also didn't make it, came back. For them, it has helped. But who would, in other parts of Asia, who would look at Indian players? Why would, again, ask the question, Ishan, why would anyone, let's say, in a Thailand, in a Malaysia, in an Indonesia, even a Singapore, should have gotten, an Indian player? Look at it the other way around. And to me, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one because, it's something which, and money, of course, is another factor, right? I mean, Som Kumar has come back to India because of the money, and to me, Som Kumar, the young goalkeeper at Kerala Blasters, in his position, I would have liked him to stay another 2, maybe 3 years in Europe and maybe develop. My question wasn't transfer ban applicable during the designated transfer window. Can a team under transfer ban sign free agent outside? No, Mainak, no, you can't. Transfer ban means you can't sign any players in or outside of a transfer window. Love Nathan as a left back, a future player. Vishal, let's wait and see. He's doing well. He's improving. He's getting better. But it's early to say. Again, a very important goal for Mumbai City again today. Controlled, bossed Vinci Barreto for most of the game. That was also very, 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 very impressive to see. But has to do more. And it's just the start of hopefully a career. Hi Manolo, both red cards decision was spot on, but East Bengal fans are criticizing referees. Manolo, I've already said to someone, one of these Bengal fans who came here, not to criticize, and then to factor in, here you could have shown a yellow card, there it should have been a yellow card, it should have been this, it should have been that. As I said, I'm fed up of this. When a referee does a mistake and we can talk about it, it's fine. Again, Kerala Blasters, good example against Hyderabad FC. Those were evident mistakes. But this one, again, It's very simple. That the Nanda's trying to injure someone. I mean, that is, if that's not a red, we don't need to talk about anything. And Mahesh is just sheer, stupidity. Maybe we can see Silva in Bangladesh League. I don't know. What is this? ওটা না বোধহয় penalty-টা কি ছিল? Abhishek is asking, and Kaushik also asking, to me it's a 50-50. He doesn't have to give it. Could have been given, doesn't have to. Anwar and Delhi FC know reality of Indian judiciary process, so they filed petition in court so that the ban could be delayed. He could play for East Bengal. Yeah, but is it helping? I don't know. It's just making a mockery of the system. Mohammedan Sporting with two-man advantage cannot defeat East Bengal FC. That shows the quality of Mohammedan Sporting. It shows the quality, but it also shows the problem in the team and the squad, the coach, the management. It shows the whole system at Mohammedan Sporting is not geared up towards ISL, and I think for the Kolkata clubs to understand is something to learn, that the Indian Super League is a different beast. It is no longer the CFL or the I League or the NFL in the old days. The ISL is a different beast. And again, Mohan Bagan can be very, very lucky that they have Mr. Goenka and his people in the background are supporting it. East Bengal now have the Agarwals from Imami. Let's see how they can build on that, but that's the quality. Lalinzola Kante effective when if gets through passes in around the box. He needs midfielder support around the box. Karan, yeah, he needs someone creative to make those. And the problem was today, in the way that Mumbai City was built up, Fanif and Manzoro were too far behind to be those creative players. What's your opinion? Should teams increase or not in ISL? Subhash, I said that. I've been saying this for a while. Actually, not even. I even said it when they started to bring in I-League teams. I don't think it's the time for increase. I think if we look at that, the player pool we have with Indian players, I would rather have a 10-team league and let them play thrice against each other, 27 matches, sorted. At the moment, we're just blowing up the league and we're bringing in players who are not ready for this league, right? And there are players, again, that when people say I-League players need to play, yesterday someone, when I left, asked about the Aizawl FC striker. No, national team, no. David, I saw David in the derby against Mohan Bagan for East Bengal. Not national team material, and not even in the sense of saying, listen, let's give him a chance, let's see what he can do. No, he needs to, if he is good enough, he will regularly play in the ISL. The problem is of our players is that a lot of them are very, very happy with the money that they're getting, and that money is creating the problem that they're not pushing themselves. I feel, I don't know what you guys feel. I feel a lot of players are not pushing themselves to become better. They're happy with the money they're getting, the social media following, the lifestyle, and all those things. Focus on the basics, and that is something which the players in the past used to do. Focus on the basic. They used to enjoy life, surely enjoy life. So those are the things. For other leagues, Indian players will be counted as foreigners, and they have to choose between Indian foreigner, someone other like Spain, England. Why they taken any Indian? Exactly, Manoj. That's another point. Why would anyone in Malaysia, in as I said, in Thailand, in Indonesia, even in Singapore, taking India as a foreigner? If I can forget even the English or the Spanish, again, I take Ghanaian, Nigerian, or someone else from Africa. Zaragoza trying too much like Pep in Man City. What are your thoughts on the same? Yeah, I think against Northeast, he overcoached. Right? The North, he overcoached. Yeah. Let's see. I also think that BFC overperformed at the start of the season, and now the players are making mistakes, and that is showing itself on the pitch, and that'll be interesting to see how BFC not sort out, but reduce the mistakes. I think that's the thing that I think for BFC will be the real challenge. Can they reduce the number of mistakes that they're making on the field, on the playing field, right? That's the challenge that BFC, I think, has, in my opinion. Of course, no team will be interested to sign an Indian player outside India. To be honest, it's a hard truth in terms of the physicality and intensity. Players can't survive. Mahesh, it only goes with relationships. I had to play quite a few relationships to get Chante at the time, 5 years ago, his trial at Viking Stavanger, right? And, and when they offer him a contract and, the player goes back, why, right? There is hardly any player in India now who can come close to Baichung in terms of quality in final third. His move to UK was justified. Yeah, why not? And he got better. After he came back from the UK, I always say that Baichung went as a boy and came back as a man after those 3 years in Bury, right? For him, it was very, very important. And therefore, for me, also Sunil. Sunil has been playing all these years because he learned a lot of things in America and he learned a lot of things in Portugal, right? So for every player, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu came back a better player than he went, right? So therefore, these are the things that make you better. And then, yeah. So you said true, Kolkata clubs need to understand ISL is something different, not a traditional Indian league fully controlled by AIFF and IFA. Yeah, very true. Kaushik, I've answered this now multiple times. The last time, 50-50 in my opinion. The growth is unsustainable. Dark Knight, the growth has never been sustainable because every franchise or every team loses money. Nobody makes money in Indian football except the players and the agents, right? So that's the reality. Sachi went to Andorra, close to 8 lakh salary. Any IT employee placed abroad on site earns 2 times more. Vijay in Uruguay, not regular, but made it to the bench. Why they're taking the cut to learn? Yeah, to learn, to try and make it as a pro. And even the salaries they're getting is higher than they should, right? With the quality that they bring. Indian players should be zero players in regard to salaries when they go abroad. Sorry, brutal. Please don't increase teams, says Dark Knight. Why don't Kolkata Giants clubs did for national team can't give any quality player to national team, no academy? Raj, if you're going to get to that discussion, they will not accept it, right? Because they think that they are as entities bigger than the Indian national team or bigger than Indian football. And this is a discussion, It is now mandatory that AIFF has to bring VAR. Sure, nothing is mandatory. Who is going to pay for the VAR? The clubs, right? The clubs are not. The funny one is the coaches are demanding VAR. Are they going to their own manager and saying, hey, listen, install VAR and then have a word with the ISL? Don't push it to the AIFF. It's not an AIFF matter. AIFF could say, yeah, let the league install it. And, who's going to put together a budget of 40, 50 crores to install VAR in the ISL for clubs who are losing money? Right? Simple. Sarah told you it would be a last game for Gurpreet Singh Sandhu in 11. He will get rest for sure in upcoming few games. It reflects us getting aged with his age's reality. We make 2 blunders, 2 games. I don't think. Who will you play for, Gurpreet? I don't know. Why did not Chante try abroad? He had his chances. Sevenik was very offended with Salih not disclosing the injury at first. If the players don't want to go, there's no point of discussing. Chante went abroad, right? As I said, we tried 2019 with King Stavanger. I think Chante has been the best Indian footballer over the last decade that has come out of the system by far, in my opinion. I don't see anybody else getting close to Lalindwala Chante. But he didn't take it up. He went to Chennaiyin at the time, right? So it's his decision, and yeah, I leave it at that. So what's your thought on Mohamed Salah of BFC? Before ISL, he was playing well, and now ISL, he looks like a calm player. Mohamed Salah was a very, very good player. I remember, I think 2 years ago, it was at Trinidad Deccan. It was quite impressive. But yeah, ISL is different than playing in the I-League, and I think Mohamed Salah is feeling that. Now East Bengal fans saying East Bengal got dropped by referees in all 7 matches AFC competition, including example. Okay, yeah. Oh, what am I going to say? Inter Kashi should completely destroy I-League this season with Habas and Kauko. Babalu's animation, yeah, they have the capabilities, they have the quality to potentially do that. The question is if Habas and Kauko are that addition to be able to do that with Inter Kashi. But again, the I-League is a difficult league. You never know who's gonna get you the result or not gonna get you the result. It's a challenge for him, for Habas. And again, I think Habas wants to get to the ISL and prove a point. And let's wait and see. It's an interesting one. It's a big challenge, and therefore, it will be interesting to see how Inter Kashi do in the I-League, which is supposed to start on the 22nd of this month. So, what about Chelsea last game? What about Chelsea last game? Sorry. Not sure what you're asking. Kauko deserves an ISL club. No one wanted to sign him. So he went to Inter Kashi. Inter Kashi will have big challenge from Gokulam Kerala and Srini Deccan. Yeah. Let's wait and see. Srini Deccan, yes, surely. Your prediction for Odisha FC was more difficult away game for us. Yes, Odisha under pressure, so that I think makes it very, very interesting. Odisha FC is under huge pressure after recent results. They will have to try and turn things around. So, I think Mohun Bagan have had now a very, very good run of games, but this is something which makes it interesting. Will be interesting. Odisha at home, always difficult, but Odisha's, lost away to Northeast, drew in Mumbai. But at home, they've had a good run of games, so therefore, that's it. And Mohun Bagan on their side did win against Hyderabad, did beat East Bengal in the derby, beat Mohammedan in the derby. So the last loss was actually pre the international break against Bengal FC. So they've had 3 wins in a row. Mohun Bagan are now settled, much more settled than they were at the start of the season. But Odisha is like a wounded animal, right? So therefore, I would most probably go for a 2-2 draw, an exciting 2-2 draw. We talked earlier about it. FIFA World, Rex Stewart injured, not traveling. Let's see if he comes back and joins the team tomorrow. Who knows? Yes, I didn't mention Sunil. Actually, his transformation while in abroad was something remarkable. He came back as a complete different player. Yeah, Moinok, he did. And that's something, so Sunil, that edge that made Sunil stand out is something which he picked up abroad. I think that makes Sunil stand out against other players. And that's helped him a lot, and therefore, Sunil has become what he is. And the decade after that, or the last decade, or more than that decade, he's been a different player. You're praising Chankik like he's the top goal scorer of the season. I don't see him perform great, to be honest. He seems to be the same as other national team players for me. Mahesh, I'm not praising him for being the best goal scorer because, first of all, that's not his role. I'm talking about sheer talent. I'm talking about talent. I'm talking about dedication. He's now the captain of Mumbai City FC as well. And he's better than the others. Is he perfect? No. He had a bad start this year. He had a bad start last year, but he was the difference player, one of the difference players at Mumbai City last season, why Mumbai City won the ISL Cup. So he has that capabilities, which I even doubt that some of these other players have, who have been, that's something. Every game this season brings turnaround on table. Yeah, because it's close. Which team will get promotion prediction, please? Kamal, again, I'm a little biased because friends of mine run, I support Inter Kashi. Friends of mine run it, so therefore I would, and I think they have the best squad overall. I saw them training in Kolkata as well. Yeah, they look sharp. Gauke can move to I-League, but Indian players, ex-Ishan Pandita, choose money and warm the benches. Yeah, Raj. Apart from Blasters, East Bengal FC and Mohammedan. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem, I guess, with this. Rio Gaming, good question. Jao suspension. Is it over or is it not? I think he should be coming back. It's surprising to me that no ISL team wanted Kauko, definitely one of the better foreigners from last league. Yeah, but no one went for him. I-League quality will decline in the next few years with promotions without relegation. Once Kokulam Srinidhi Interkashi gets promoted, let's see. I think there is that chance, and I think it has already, because you have teams in there who are unable to spend and compete financially. I think that's a problem as well in the I-League, and therefore interesting to see how the I-League, how the I-League continues in the coming years. Tomorrow Sahal has to step up. Tomorrow Sahal has to play, would be my first question. Does he start? In your opinion, does Sahal get a start tomorrow? So any word on African football? A few years back they was doing well, but now their football again going down here and there. I don't follow African football enough on a day-to-day basis to be able to say if it's going up or going down. A lot of their football now depends on the players of origin from Europe, especially from France, the Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, who are going back and playing in those countries, Belgium, Germany as well. But is it going down? I don't know. I don't know if it's really going down. I mean, the real test will be, will be in 2 years at the World Cup. Dimi will play. Don't know about Sahal. Yeah, Dimi should be back with Greg out. Shillong, Lajong and ISL will be great to watch. The kind of fans they have in every match is cool. Mahesh, I would like to see the fans coming in Shillong for every match like they did in the Durand Cup towards the latter stages. Right? That would be interesting, because their capabilities of about 3,000 to 5,000 for every game. That's what I say would be Lajong. Let's see now with the refurbished Nehru Stadium if so many fans are going to turn up as they did in the smaller one last season. Therefore, again, we see 1 or 2, 3 games where a lot of fans turn up, and then we say, oh, that's normal. That's a question that we need to ask. Right, over an hour already, 1 hour and 7 minutes. Those of you who might be new to the channel, welcome to arunfoot. My name is Arnav Chaudhary. If you haven't, but you like what you're hearing, maybe leave a like behind. 18 likes so far. You can share it also with other people. And if you want to know what's happening, please leave a subscription behind. 1,913 at the moment. So we are 87 away from the 2,000 mark. So thank you as always, everyone, and let's grow. And also do watch the shorter videos that I produce every day in regard to Indian football. Did yesterday something on regard to are the Blasters in crisis, the day before something on what could be Manolo's choice, best 11, or should he test players, India squad. Earlier this week spoke about Mizoram Football Association coming down hard on match fixing, match fraud. Then, of course, started the week with asking the question, AIFF Stella, they're going to extend their contract and other things. So do watch the videos if you can, support the channel. And thanks to all of those of you who have been doing it or are doing it. As always, thank you very, very much. We need one more club from Northeastern ISL to bring fans and new rivalry. Again, theoretically, yes. Practically, we don't know. So, we saw also full venues in Manipur. We saw full venues in Aizawl. Now also they are not playing at full venues in there. Again, and that's something which is, let's see. Inter Kashi secured a 2-0 win in a practice match against Sanjay Sen's Bengal Santosh Trophy team with a few Bengal players impressing coach Hapas. Yeah, I take it. It's a friendly. Okay. And what is Hapas going to say? Oh, you know what? I played against a shit team. You don't do that, right? Sometimes also when coaches praise opponents, just take it with a pinch of salt, guys. PFC lost 2 in a row. Is it concerning? It isn't concerning yet. Let's put it this way. They haven't lost 2 in a row. They actually lost against... Yeah, they lost to Goa. Sorry. They lost to Goa and to BFC, but in between beat Chennaiyin. Yeah, that's the thing. It is concerning because I thought the other day against Goa, the bench was a little weak, and that's going to be the question for PFC. If they're going to lose 1 or 2 players, can they really cover for that? Especially the Indian players looked a little weak. Not weak in the sense of weak, but rather inexperienced. I don't know why when a player performs well in a match, few people do PR on social media, ask why this player is not in national team. What answer will you give to these people? Raj, I am more of a conservative. I take a more conservative approach when it comes to the national team. The national team can't be a trial and error field of saying, you know what, this guy played well today. This guy needs to play a national team. Not a fan of that. Or say, oh, you know what, he's not played 3 good matches. He needs to get to the national team. I want a player to prove to me for half a year or more that he's capable of playing a national team, rather than, and that's a challenge in itself, I know. But again, let's wait and see. And then if the player does well, today, I've got also Nathan here in the picture. Nathan is nowhere near the national team. Valpuya to me also, I think it's too early. I said last year that I felt Jay Gupta is coming too early to the national team. Jay Gupta now is not even playing at FC Goa, right? Got a picture here of Mahesh as well, who would have said 18 months, 12 months ago. 18 months ago in the SAF, I thought he was one of our best players. It's going to take time, and Mahesh has to now dig himself out of that hole and try to improve. This season, Mohun Bagan don't have that much hype in comparison to the last few years. Here and there, I think it's something they needed time to settle down. Molina needed time to find an appropriate system, and now they've got some wins, but let's see. I think the hype comes in February, March around those teams anyway, who are going to be fighting for those titles. What about the national camp for Malaysia friendly? Mahesh, that starts on Monday. So tomorrow is the last match day, and on Monday, the team will assemble in Hyderabad and have 7 days to prepare for the friendly against Malaysia on the 18th. Balash explains in Mohun Bagan, the foreigners are new and Indian players are not performing that well. Yeah, that's part of the problem. Well explained. I think that's Mohun Bagan's problem at the moment, that and also injuries, I think, right, has also been a problem for Mohun Bagan. Well, 1 hour and 12 minutes, so 77 minutes already on this Saturday evening. I hope everybody is doing fine wherever you are. And thanks again for joining in. As always, as I said, like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube. If you like what you're seeing, do you leave a like? 20 likes so far. Thank you very much. And let's grow the community. Again, as we're doing, 1,913 people are already part of it. Let's grow it. And I know someone was telling me the other day, oh, you were very critical about this, about that. No, I'm not being critical. I'm just being honest. And if being honest means that one is critical, then I have to be critical as well. I can't say, I can't say things are great if things are not great. At least that's me. People are selling pipe dreams and people are being fooled, and therefore Indian football is where it is. This is our biggest problem for over a century. We've been sold dreams of Indian football being here, being there. I want to be as honest as I can. I want to share my opinion, and very often I think people will not like that opinion because it is, and for me, my opinion is based on my knowledge and understanding of things. And I said, I don't have to be perfect and right every time, but sadly, I've been proven most of the times that even with predictions, I come right and what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. Not match predictions or result predictions, but generally what's happening in Indian football. Your favorite Bundesliga club, Mahesh? That's Bayern Munich. Got a special fan all my life, most of my life. Let's put it this way. And of course, I've also had the pleasure of working for the club. So yeah, I have a relation, not only playing, working, but also even playing for the club, for the legends in Kolkata against East Bengal. So yeah, very special relationship. Next match will be the challenge. Till now, we defeated 3 bottom team. We'll get to see Molina set up. Yeah, very interesting. Blue, again, Odisha is a different beast, and that beast is hurt. So let's wait and see. What's your take on Nathan Rodriguez's performance? If he's consistent, then can he solve our fullback problem? He seems to be getting better every match. Showcast, too early to have this discussion. We just had that conversation a few minutes earlier. I think it's too early to have that conversation about him because I think he's going to take his time. Again, what I like about him is composed. And what I felt today also when he is playing his forward passes, his decision making seems to be better than most players. So that's good. But again, if Akash Mishra is fit, then what happens to him, right? So therefore, will be very, very interesting to see. Emmanuel asks Ronaldo or Messi. For me, Lionel Messi, if you ask me. I favor Messi more than Ronaldo. Yeah, slowly wanting to come to an end today. Been a long day. Did a live, of course, earlier, which lasted 1 hour 55 minutes, and another one now. Want to watch a little bit of Bundesliga now as well. The evening match now, which has just kicked off. So I think the summary of the day is good night, Mahesh. The summary of the day is Chennaiyin FC, Mumbai City play out a 1-1 draw in the 1000th match of the ISL, and 9-man East Bengal hold Mohammedan Sporting to a goalless draw, and yeah, that match showcased a lot of what is lacking in Indian football. But tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow, I hope things will look better. And I'll just quickly answer Blue's question. On some pretext, yes. On the other side, no, because I think let him have a break. And again, if the others don't perform, he's back in March. So therefore, I'm not surprised Shubhashish Bose was dropped. So therefore, guys, as I said, like, share, and subscribe. Watch the other videos as well on the channel. Spread the word. Let's grow the community, and I'll be back tomorrow evening. Maybe I'll be out at a football game here locally, so I might start the show a little later than not 9:45, most probably 10:15, maybe even 10:30. I will let you know accordingly. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. Follow arunfoot. Watch the other videos, and I'll be back tomorrow night.